It is 6:30 p.m. I will call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order on July 25th, 2023. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Knutson?
Here.
Gross? Huynh? Jones?
Here.
Goodrich?
Here.
All council members except Councilmember Gross and Huynh are present, as is the mayor, the city clerk, the city attorney, the deputy city administrator, and other staff in the audience. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Madam Mayor, I'd make a motion to approve the agenda as prepared.
Second.
Moved by Jones, seconded by Goodrich. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved. On to item number 4, community comments. This is a time for community members to speak to the public. I'm sorry. I got distracted because Councilmember Whitten came in. That's okay. She is here now. Welcome. Glad that you are here with us tonight. Okay, community comments. This is the time for community members to speak to us about items that aren't on the agenda or items that are on the agenda but are not subject to a public hearing. Each speaker will have 5 minutes, and we do reserve the right to adjust both the individual comment time and the overall speaking time based on the number of speakers or any accommodations that a speaker might need. So we have someone, I did not recognize you. Yes, oh my goodness, the haircut. We have someone to speak to us this evening. Would you state your name?
So Kathy Hotzenpeller, I'm representing the Community Policing Advisory Board. I just wanted to give you our quarterly update about what has been going on. We will be expecting traffic data soon from the company that's analyzing that for the fiscal year. Chief Crone will pass that along to the board members, and then we plan on having a meeting in September amongst ourselves to discuss it first. There were quite a few questions last year when we had the data, so we kind of wanted to get questions in order before the presenter comes. And then we were planning on having the presenter come in at the November meeting. And of course, the public is welcome to attend that too. I did want to circle back about, I don't even remember when we voted on removing the word citizen from the Community Policing Advisory Board title. So I know it's a really tiny thing, but it's important to us that maybe I don't know what the process is to get that started, but we would like to just be the Community Policing Advisory Board instead of Citizens Community Policing Advisory Board. We do have an opportunity for racial bias training for the police department coming up in January, I think. Yes, January. Ashley, trying to find her name. Ashley Hopkins from the Iowa State Extension has contacted Chief Crone about that. So there have been no reports of discrimination at all, which is wonderful. Not for this quarter, or I don't even think since we've been aboard for 2 years, which is great. And the final thing I wanted to talk about was I got a chance to attend the Community Police Academy, and I know it was like the best experience ever. We have such great people in the police department, in the sheriff's office, like trooper, everyone is so great, and we're so lucky to have such great people in our community. So I just wanted to tell anybody who wants to attend it next time, it's a great idea. And that is it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was good to see you, even though I apologize that I didn't recognize you immediately. But thank you for sharing that overview. We appreciate your work on that commission. Okay, would anybody else like to speak to us about items that aren't on the agenda or items that are on the agenda but are not subject to a public comment? Okay. On to item number 5. This is a third reading of an ordinance that would change the land use for a parcel located at Acorn Drive and James Street, adjacent to Jacobs Clear Creek 7th Subdivision. This land use amendment is for an 11.26 acre parcel located at the west end of Acorn Drive and James Street and adjacent to Jacobs Clear Creek 7th Subdivision. All right, could I get the ordinance, please?
Ordinance number 2023-1009, an ordinance amending the Coralville Community Plan to reflect certain property generally known as a portion of the southwest quarter of Section 36 and a portion of the northwest quarter of Section 1, both of Township 80, North Range 7, west of the 5th Principal Meridian, Johnson County, Iowa, to be designated industrial use in place of regional commercial use, introduced for adoption, third consideration by Councilmember Knutson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Jones. Any questions or comments on this item? All right, could I get the roll call, please?
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its third and final consideration, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 6, Paratransit 2080 agreement. This 2080 agreement is for Johnson County seats to provide paratransit services from August 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2028. Could I have the resolution?
Resolution approving a 28E agreement for paratransit services between the City of Coralville and Johnson County, Iowa for the period of August 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2028. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Wynn, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item?
So this extends through 2028, which is longer than Iowa City is planning to trial the free bus. So if they do revert to a paid system, would we revert to the old agreement, or would this continue? Or we don't think that'll happen?
We have our transit director, Vicki Robrock, with us to answer
So
the
I
question.
think that would obviously more likely affect Iowa City than us because of the language we put in. Essentially, rides that originate in Iowa City but end up in North Liberty or Coralville are still going to be a ride that's got a fare associated with it.
Any other questions?
Good job figuring that out.
And I would just note that this agreement starts August 1st. You'll remember we had an interim agreement for July because we did have some changes that resulted from Iowa City going fare-free. So in the future, these generally start on July 1st.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 7, Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel Conference Center renovations. So we have two parts, I believe. No, we only have one part on this
Yep.
one. We only have one part on this one. This is an increase in the draw loan, and that amount is not to exceed the construction cost budget, and it is not to exceed closing costs and capitalized interest for the Hyatt Regency Hotel and Conference Center renovation. We are going to set the public hearing for this item on August 8th, 2023. Could I have the resolution?
Resolution to fix a date of meeting at which it is proposed to take action on the proposals to enter into one or more lease purchase agreements or loan agreements in the principal amount not to exceed $5 million for improvements to and equipment for the city's hotel and conference center. It's introduced for adoption by Councilmember Jones, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Wynn. Questions or comments?
So will we bond for this then eventually, or, okay.
Yes, this is just to get us through the construction, and then
Yep.
permanent financing will be next year, I think, because I think it's a 1-year maturity, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And this allows us to know the final cost.
Great. Any other questions? Okay. Could I get the roll call, please?
Councilmember Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 8, Fifth Street Water Main Improvements 2023. This is a project that would allow us to install a new 12-inch diameter water main along 5th Street from 20th Avenue East to Morrison Creek. And we have our engineer, Scott Larson, here to give us the bid report.
Thank you, Mayor. On July 18th, we took bids on the 5th Street Water Main 2023 Improvements Project. We received 5 bids ranging from a low of $414,155.75 to a high of $870,486.50. So quite a spread amongst those 5 bidders. The engineer's estimate was $416,465. So the low bid from BWC Incorporated from Solon was actually slightly below the engineer's estimate. So as mentioned, this will reconstruct replace the existing 8-inch water main on 5th Street from 20th Avenue to Morrison Creek. This was originally part of the larger 5th Street project that's going to be rebid this October through the DOT. And our hope is that by getting this water main out of the way, it simplifies the bigger road project that is yet to come. One priority with this project, assuming we proceed with awarding the contract, will be to get 2 critical street crossings done before school starts on August 23rd. In particular, there's one crossing of 5th Street that we really want to get done as fast as possible. So that will be our initial goal on this project. And the rest of it, we need to just get completed before the end of this construction season. So with that, I would recommend that we do award the contract to BWC Incorporated.
Awesome, thank you for that overview. All right, item B, I would please have the resolution.
Resolution accepting bids and awarding the contract for the 5th Street Water Main Improvement Project 2023, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Wynn. Questions, comments, or discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Knutson?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item C, could I have that resolution, please?
Resolution approving the contract and bond documents for the 5th Street Water Main Improvement Project 2023, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Knutson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Jones. Questions or comments? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Quinn?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 9, fiscal year 2024 and 25 nonprofit organization funding agreements. These agreements are for funding nonprofit organizations that will provide services to Coralville residents. Could I have the resolution, please?
Resolution approving various funding agreements for nonprofit organizations performing services on behalf of Coralville residents is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Wynn, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Questions or discussion?
Did we end up just using the same numbers as last year then?
I don't believe so.
No.
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 It was what you and I agreed on, Mike.
We had some, okay, I see it now.
Yeah, the list is in the resolution. It's a little, it is different from last year.
What's that?
It is different from last
There
year.
aren't the same agencies, is what you're
There,
saying.
and the amounts aren't exactly
Aren't
the same either.
Yep, yep. Yep, and this is, just as a reminder, this is for FY '24 and '25. There's that 2-year cycle.
Right.
That we're on.
Correct.
The agencies requested a 2-year cycle a couple years ago, probably 5 years ago at this point. It allows them to do more planning and their budget to know what the revenues coming in are going to be, so, and also staff time on their part, too.
Sure. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Quinn?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 10, Fire Protection Services Agreements. These agreements utilize a formula to calculate the cost payable to the city to provide fire protection for the University of Iowa, at the Oakdale campus, and the Iowa Department of Transportation, and the Iowa Department of Corrections, because those entities do not pay property taxes to cover the cost of fire service. Could I have the resolution, please?
Resolution approving various agreements to provide fire protection service to exempt entities, introduced for adoption by Councilmembers Jones, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Nguyen. Any questions or comments on this item? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 11. Item number 11, Wetland Mitigation Credit Purchase Agreement. This agreement is for the .65 acres of emergent wetland on the Oakdale Boulevard extension. This will impact the, this will have an impact on, I'm sorry, I read that incorrectly. Sorry. This agreement is for the .65 acres of emergent wetland the Oakdale Boulevard extension will impact. This will be payable to the Johnson County Conservation Board, who oversees the Cedar River Crossing Wetland Mitigation Board. Could I have that resolution?
Resolution approving a wetland mitigation credit purchase agreement with the Cedar River Crossing Wetland Mitigation Board and payment for the Oakdale Boulevard extension, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Jones. Questions or comments? All right. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 12, West Land Use Connection Fees. This acknowledges the payment for the West Land Use Area connection fees for Lot 9, Coral Crossing 8th Edition. Could I have the resolution?
Resolution acknowledging payment in full of the West Land Use Area connection fee levied against Lot 9, Coral Crossing, 8th Edition, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Knutson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Any questions or comments? All right, roll call.
Councilmember Knutson?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 13, Iowa River Landing Retail Leases. Now, we have two parts to this agenda item. The first is for the owners of Hokkaido Coralville, Inc. They wish to enter into a 5-year lease agreement with 2 5-year options to renew for the space located at 201 East 9th Street in the Iowa River Landing District. We are looking for, or we will accept alternate proposals. Those would be due on August 21st, 2023, and the public hearing on this item would be August 22, 2023. Could I have that resolution?
Resolution of intent to dispose of an interest in real property and solicit alternate proposals for the leasing of 201 East 9th Street, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Nguyen, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Jones. Questions?
So they're taking over the entire space
They
as
will,
it sits now?
they will take over the space that Fuzzy's Taco.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
now. Yeah, okay.
Will the terms be the same as what Fuzzy's had? The
I
rate?
know, they're different terms, and they're going to take right over. So the next item's to terminate Fuzzy's lease, so. Plus,
I mean, in
there's
terms
a lot
of
longer.
the square foot rate, I guess. Is
Yeah,
what-
yeah, it's good. Honestly, I don't have that in front of me, what it was, but it's actually longer lease now, too. You got up to 15 years for that space now.
And they're doing the whole build-out themselves,
Yeah, well,
right?
yeah, because usually we only do the build out on the vacant, or the ones
Yeah.
that haven't had a space, so there's no payment for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be one of the things that would have been different from the original
Yes.
agreement,
Yeah, we
right?
would have
Yes.
paid Fuzzy's Taco
Yeah,
to do the original
exactly.
build out.
Yep. But
Or
that's-
as they're called here, Taco Dirty to me. My
Right,
favorite name of all
I'm
time.
sorry, I apologize in advance for when I have to read that. On the next resolution. But, okay, any other questions or comments? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Nguyen?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item B, this is the lease termination agreement for Taco Dirty to Me LLC. Fuzzy's Tacos is what that is, actually. They are terminating their lease in the Iowa River Landing, and Hokkaido Coralville, Inc. will be moving into this location. So could we have that resolution, please?
Resolution approving a lease termination agreement with Taco Dirty to Me LLC, doing business as Fuzzy's Taco, introduced by Councilmember Jones, seconded by.
Second.
Second by Goodrich. Any questions or comments on this item?
Any idea when the new place will open?
They're going to get in there as soon as possible. I don't know how much. I would assume they're trying to be open by football season, but they may not make that.
By when?
I would assume everybody usually tries to make it by football season, but that's not a long time
That
off.
would seem tight to me, but who knows?
Yeah, I just don't know if the equipment and stuff, whether they can use a lot of it.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item 14, sewer revenue bonds. This item would be to utilize sewer revenue bonds to finance the West Land Use Area Central Trunk Sewer and Oakdale Force Main projects. The public hearing on this item will be on August 8th, 2023. Could I have the resolution?
Resolution to fix a date for a public hearing on a proposal to enter into one or more sewer revenue loan agreements and to borrow money thereunder for is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Knutson. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item 15, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Madam Mayor, I would like to ask council to consider a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented, A to double C.
Moved by Nguyen, seconded by
Second.
Jones. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Knutson?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Consent calendar is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 16, Deputy City Administrator's Report.
Yeah, I think everyone's aware, Friday, July 28th is Ragbri and Coralville. Cheers to the years. And there's lots of information on coralvilleragbri.com. Just a couple highlights. City Hall will be open that day. There will be no parking here, but City Hall will be open, and this is volunteer check-in if you're volunteering. Transit is free all through town that day, and then there's an additional route for reaching the campgrounds and other areas. And also just have fun, enjoy yourselves at Ragbri, and stay cool.
All right, thank you very much. Mayor's report, just a few things. I wanted to start by saying congratulations to the cast and crew of High School Musical at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. I have to say, every time I go to one of those productions, I am just struck by how much talent we have in our community. You know, not only the performers, but the musicians, the people that work behind the scenes, the set designers, the costume designers. We're very, very lucky to have that facility and the space to tell fun stories. It was an amazing show. Since it is very hot out, I did want to just mention that we have several places throughout the community where people can go and cool off. You can go to the library, that's a cooling station. You can go to the rec center, CCPA, if there is, a show or something, that's another place you can go and cool off. We'll also have a lot of cooling areas throughout the community for Ragbri. I know that it's going to be probably one of the hottest days of the year on Friday when the riders come through. So again, all those places I mentioned are cooling locations. City Hall will be open for cooling. And they're showing a movie at the CCPA. Do we know what time that movie starts?
There's like 3 or 4 movies.
3 or 4
all
movies?
throughout
Yeah,
the
with the
day.
purpose of having people come in, sit in the air conditioning. Okay. So maybe check the RAGBRAI or the CCPA website. Oh, it would be in the book.
It's in the book.
In the book, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of opportunities to cool off. I also wanted to note that both of the pools will be open on Friday. I believe that the aquatic center, the outdoor pool, does have shortened hours, but that will be open, and that's another way RAGBRAI riders or just anyone in the community can go and get cool. And the first aid station will be at Northwest Junior High for RAGBRAI. If anyone, starts feeling ill because of the heat, that is a place where folks can go and get some attention if they need that. And that is all I have. City Attorney's report.
Just hope that Kelly can find a place to cool off.
I'm sure he will.
Oh, I'd just like to, since I'm a big hockey fan, I'd like to welcome Michael Devlin as the new owner of the Iowa Heartlanders. Mr. Devlin is the current owner of the Des Moines Buccaneers in the USHL. That's the same league that the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders play in. So be local ownership will indeed, I'm sure there will be changes for the better coming with the Heartlanders. So
Exciting. Can't wait for hockey season to start. It'll be here before we know it,
That
although
is
it's hard to imagine
Yes.
right now with it. Yeah, it's hard to imagine any winter sports at this point. Okay, committee and council members report. We'll start down here with Councilmember Knudsen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Glad Kevin pointed that out. I just renewed my season tickets with that news that we had local ownership. Excited about that. Plenty of good seats available if you're interested in Heartlanders tickets. Just want to encourage everybody to be very, very careful on Friday with all the bike traffic. And if you can avoid driving, strongly encourage you to do that. They'll be all over town, and a lot of them, I'm sure, will be finding their way and not sure where they're at. So just be very, very careful out there. And I guess the last thing I mentioned, I had worked with Brown Deer for an event we had, and just want to advertise that worked out fantastic. It's a beautiful space to hold functions, and it worked out great, and encourage people to utilize that.
Awesome.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Huynh.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to extend a big thank you to all of the staff for working so hard to get ready for RAGBRAI. I know it's been crazy for July, and then now RAGBRAI, they hadn't had much of a break. So thank you for everything that you do to prepare our city to welcome from 30 to 50,000 extra people that come and spend a day and a night. We did all we could, and we really hope that folks who come from outside feel the welcome, the inclusiveness, and the warmth that this Coralville know for. Also, the wheat pasting. So if you hadn't had a chance to check out a wheat pasting, it's one of the things that the city did, and big thanks to the staff at the library. They undertake so much for that project. That will last from 3 months to a year. So if you hadn't had a chance, go check that out. They are all over town. You can see a lot of Coralville history and Coralville future there. We can use more volunteer for RAGBRAI. I take a peek at the volunteer sites, and there are several slots that we can definitely use some more helping hands. So if you have some time, even if it's just an hour, take a bike out right here, give us some helping hand. We can always use that. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Jones.
Well, I agree with everything that Hy has said. I was going to say many of those things, so I won't repeat those. I've been out of state, actually, for a week, and I feel a little bit out of the loop, but I was pleasantly surprised to read somewhere along the line that the Iowa DOT is moving the driver's license station to Coralville. So that will be nice. I know there's been some grumblings on the east side of Iowa City, way out in Coralville, but for us Coralville residents, it's a nice thing, so I'm looking forward to that. Plus, it fills an empty space that we have, so all in all, it's a good thing. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Awesome, thank you. And last but not least,
No.
Councilmember Goodrich.
The not least is because I am wearing the volunteer T-shirt for RAGBRAI, and I wore it because I wanted to remind people that you can still sign up on CoralvilleRAGBRAI.com for their spots for volunteering. And also, if you think about it, on Saturday morning, come join everyone at St. Morrison Park for putting everything back, putting everything away. So there's always opportunity there the morning after. So
What
thank
time,
you.
Lori, is that?
Anytime.
So if I come at 6 o'clock in the morning, I can work.
You'll escort people out
Okay,
of
all
town.
right.
Sure, sure.
Will coffee be available?
And thank you, that's what I was looking for.
Thank you.
Mayor, may I add one
Sure,
thing,
yeah.
please? Just wanted to note that the summer lunch service from the Coralville Food Pantry will not take place this Friday because of RAGBRAI. So if you're planning on coming out and eat with us on Friday, please don't come because nobody will be there. I mean, we'll be there serving food for RAGBRAI, so you're more than welcome to come and buy some food. But summer lunch service will be suspended that day.
All right, thank you. That's an important update because I know those summer lunches have been very popular and a lot of fun for people of all ages, parents and kids.
We have 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Awesome. All right. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Moved by Goodrich,
Second.
seconded by Jones. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.